right, sports fans, welcome once again to Sports Night with Jorge. Once again, I want to thank all you guys that have subscribed to the channel. And today's topic, we're going to talk about our Miami Dolphins. And to report something right away that just came out, and you guys probably seen it out there, Ramsey has not been traded yet. Rumors again, speculation again. Three teams interested in Ramsey. Um, it's going to be the Pittsburgh Steelers, the Rams, or the Chargers. Ramsey came out there and started saying that he would like to play for a West Coast team, which that'll be either the Rams or the Chargers. That's the style of playing football. But today's topic, we're going to talk Miami Dolphins depth chart. How really good are the Miami Dolphins? I know I've been saying, and it's not batching them. It's like not talking bad about them, but we have to look at reality when it comes to sports. Okay, you have to look what you have. Check up your lineup. I'm not a person about grade A, grade B, grade C, grade D. It's the depth chart that this team has. Okay, this team without Tua. Okay, they're nothing without Tua, and that's something that Dolphin fans has to know. Since he's been here 5 years, this is his sixth year. Okay, now what do we need? A healthy Tua. The Tua that plays 17 games, had led the league in passing, probably one of his best of the season. Uh, that's what we need. Okay, but to have that, we have to have a good offensive line. So I'm going to go and look at the depth chart. I'm going to have special team depth chart. I'm going to have possible starters, possible not starters. Of course, we still haven't gone to mini camp. Um, we already passed OTAs. So this is my prediction. Maybe I could be wrong. I mean, things changes. Uh, I will not be surprised if they trade Ramsey and they save that money cap. Down the road, remember when minicamp starts and then you got the exhibition games, okay, which is preseason. Okay, this is where the team start releasing some of the players, good players, that could actually fulfill the need of your team if you're willing to spend that money. Unfortunately, the Miami Dolphins, they got into a soft situation when Greer started giving these extension contracts. Now, you extended the contract, and what happened at the end of the season? A total failure. Okay, Tua injured, his contract wasn't extended. You had Waddle contract extended. Then, of course, you have to see also the departure of the players. Holland is gone. Okay, Tehran retired. Okay, we know last year Wilkins went to the Raiders. So what you built around your team, okay, is built through chemistry. What McDaniel brings to the table, who knows, guys? Listen, as fans, we get excited. The guy's a teacher. He's a teacher of teaching quarterbacks and helping quarterbacks develop. And we've been there before. Tua has been developed by him. The only thing is, we need a winning quarterback. That doesn't mean that he doesn't win. It's that he doesn't stay healthy enough on the field to help us more chance to win. But you see, you got teams out there that have backup quarterbacks, decent backup quarterbacks that can give you those 2-3 wins where you're actually injured. And we didn't have that from Huntley. Okay, let's be honest, Skylar Thompson. And you can say whatever you want. It's just that you got a particular quarterback that fits your scheme, but the other two did not fit your scheme. It doesn't matter. You say, well, they know McDaniel program. He comes from the McDaniel, field. He knows it's hard to develop. It's hard to learn the system. And then what happened is, you know what happened. The season came to an end to the Dolphins. Now, sometimes you say, man, they had to win 2 more games and they'll be in good shape. They couldn't. Okay, so the honest word is this. With Tua Tagovailoa, the Miami Dolphins ain't nothing. I know it sounds kind of bad when I say that. Some people agree and disagree with it, but it's the truth. Without Tua, this team cannot win. And it's been proven. There's no argument to that. There's no other way to say it. Be honest about it. Be truthful about it. The numbers don't lie. Okay? But when he's in the field, Miami wins. When he's off the field, this team cannot win. Then you have to depend on your defense. But there's some key players I want you to see that I want you to understand what I'm coming from. Because I tell you, it's not easy, guys. It's not easy. The National Football League is a hard, league to play with, especially how linebackers, offensive linemen, defensive linemen, even wide receivers, man, how they're getting built and physical. I mean, it's just part of it. So let's take a look for a second. I'm going to go with a special team right now. Okay, our special team, the same thing with Jason Sanders, Ryan Stonehouse. We have also Malik Washington as your punt returner and kickoff returner. Malik, great speed. Can they stay healthy? Now, this is just assuming that if it does happen, you also have D. Eckridge, the guy that, we also lost because he got hit years ago and, it was a bad hit and then he recovered and hopefully, everything's fine, ready for the season. And then you got your starters and you got your second string, which will be Jake Bailey. But, it's competition. There's still mini camp. You still got a long way to go. You look at that team and listen, it's a fight of a battle at who's gonna get that position, who's gonna be the best in that position. So, I think Jason Sanders is a heck of a kicker, man. Been with us for a while now, and we have to understand that the special team it's one of the key elements also of your football team. And I remember we were one of the worst special team that we had, and now it gotten better. So we look at the Dolphins defense. Okay. These are potential starters, second and third string. Remember, we don't know who's going to start, who not, depending on what the situation is with this defense. As you see, the little cue you see there, these are players that are coming out of injuries, okay? And that's one thing I talked about, when you hit the field and Phillip injured, Chubb's injured, and most of the Dolphins' injuries either are Achilles injury or concussion. Little bang there. We know Tyreek Hill injury with the wrist, but that's another story to talk about in the podcast. But this is how I see it. For me, that starting defense for the Miami Dolphins, the way I see it, this is my way of looking at it. And I'll go back to the offense in a few minutes because I'm going to tell you my starting offense. I know I had it, you'll see it in a few minutes, but okay. Starters, plain and simple. As starting, and I'm going to go as starting and the rotation they might go through. Okay, so I have Zach Sealer, Kenneth Grant, the rookie, Benito Jones, and Jordan Phillip. I think that's one of my defensive line. I think it's one of the best defensive line out there, believe it or not. In the rotation, you got Matt Dickerson, Neil Farrell, or Zeke Biggers. Then on the linebacker, I see Jaden Phillip, Bradley Chubbs, Sharp Robinson. That's their depth right there, okay? Probably players looking in and looking out. You got Jordan Brooks, KJ Britz, Tyler Thompson, Chanel Tyndall. Let me tell you, Shannon Tyndall, it's a player that if he will not get injured, okay, I think he has a better chance. He's a good player, came from Georgia. Unfortunately, he was injured. But once again, things do happen. In the secondary, of course, even though you see Jalen Ramsey named there, he's not going to be here. Now, we don't trust our secondary because of Cam Smith, Kato Kobu or Kahu, Storm Duck. Now, remember, we signed Artie Burns and Edna Borner. Borner, I think he'll be good. Speed and all that is, I think second year now. So hopefully build experience. That's where one of the weaknesses that Miami Dolphins have. Okay. At safety, I think it's F2 Malafavo, the guy we picked from Detroit. Elijah Campbell, Austin Davis, Patrick McMorris, plus Jordan Colbert or Dante Trey Jr., which struggle through OTAs. Now, that is our defense. Main weakness from the Miami Dolphins might be the secondary, but who knows? Somebody could shine. Here's the total depth chart when it comes to the offensive line. Okay, there's potential in the offensive line because, listen, my concern with the offensive line is Daniels, who's coming off from the Achilles. I know he's not going to be able to start. And then we had a major setback with Austin Jackson. I guess he re-injured, and that's what's through camp, through OTAs, and now we have mini camps. So let's see what happens. Let me start with the offensive. Of course, your starting quarterback is going to be Tua Tagovailoa, regardless. Your second string, I don't agree with it, guys. It's Zach Wilson. I don't agree with it. I don't feel comfortable with Zach Wilson, but he's the one. And then number 3, Quinn Ewers from Texas, the rookie. At fullback, this is where Miami is solid, guys. At fullback, just to give you guys a heads up. At fullback, Devontae A-Chain, Alexander Madison, Jalen Wright, Ollie Gordon, and Alec Ingle. That is a powerful back, guys. This is a great back. Okay, this is something that's going to help Miami. If Miami could have a great offensive line, can Miami open those holes for those running backs? If they do, it'll be a field day for the Dolphins. Okay, and we continue talking about the offensive line. You have Tyreek Hill as your wide receiver, Jalen Waddle, Malik Washington. Okay, Nick Westbrook. I like that guy. The guy they picked from actually the Tennessee Titans. I think that's going to help. I think you're going to see an open offense this year compared to what we see from the past. Okay, Nick Westbrook, Deke Akridge, Eric Esukama. This is a player that if he could stay healthy on the field, could get trouble to a lot of teams. Now, apparently his injuries. Now, all these players, except the starters, are going to guarantee to start. The rest, it'll be a battlefield. And this is I'm going to name 8 of them. Then you got Tahi Washington and Tarek Black. All right. At tight end, once again, if we could sign our freaking tight end, John Smith, which had a great season. Don't know what the Dolphins are waiting. And I think the Dolphins are waiting just because to trade this man right here, Ramsey, get the $20 million in the cap space, put it in there, start paying your players, and start getting good players in that ball club. Sign John Smith, because listen, at the tight end, John Smith, Farron Brown, Julian Hill. My God, Julian Hill. I'm surprised he's still there. Tanner Connor and Heidi Rossi. If you look at all those tight end, I guarantee you the only one you could trust is John Smith. We all look about, hey, man, let's find a good blocking, a good blocking tight end. Listen, there are good blocking tight end, but also the tight ends is like your 5th receiver in the field. Or your 4th receiver in the field, what you want to call it. Okay, so that's something you have to understand too as a fan. If Tariq is covered, Water is covered, that's your tight end right there. So now I'm going to go to the offensive line. That's my concern on the offensive line, guys. This is my concern. And I go back to this because I'm going to have something about Tua Tagovailoa in a few minutes, as you see here. Our offensive line, the starter, Austin Jackson, if healthy. Janoa Savania, whatever his name is, Savania, which I can't pronounce, and I apologize for that. That's a good pick. James Daniel, once again, coming out of the Achilles. Is he going to play? We don't know. My main concern is Patrick Paul, the right guard. Okay? That's my concern. If Patrick Paul, okay, could play. Now, remember, he didn't have a good rookie year. That's because he was moved around too many positions. Okay? One guy I'm not too happy about, and he have his days, guys, it's Liam Eichenberg. I mean, sometimes, listen, let's be honest. Sometimes the guy could play. Sometimes he show up. Sometimes he doesn't. Once again, you start moving all these offensive linemen, and you get yourself in trouble. Now, at center, of course, they have James McDaniel, which I don't think he's going to start. He's a great center. I mean, came from Pittsburgh. But I believe Aaron Brewer will get that position. You got Andrew Mayers, Chase Hines, Jackson Carman, and Byron Matos. So, looking at this team, they have potential. More potential is going to be when they start playing that minicamp and go to preseason and they start cutting these players. And then you'll be surprised that, man, we can build around these players. Because the main concern of the Miami Dolphins is, can they stay healthy? That's it. Now, one thing I didn't bring to my program here, I had a chart to show you that, and I'll see if I find it here. I might find it, might not find it. Is who are the key players for 2025 Miami Dolphins? And I'll tell you now who I feel there are key players that had to produce besides their injuries. So I'm going to go see if I can find it here. Give me a second. Hold on. And maybe I don't have it here, but anyhow, I don't see it here. I'm going to bring it to my next segment, and I apologize for that, guys. Let me go back in here. And let's talk about Tua Tagovailoa. This is something that I'm going to read to you his stats in 11-game play last year. 2,867 yards, 19 touchdowns, 7 interceptions, a 72.9 completion rate. Passing rating of 1.1.4. He was sacked 21 times. Okay? The only problem is 11 games. He missed 6 games. If the Dolphins could have won those 6 games and go 3-3, we wouldn't have had this conversation. We were talking something else last year. But unfortunately, you know what? Things happen. Tua signed a 4-year, $212 million extension late in July. Remember, he suffered a concussion on week 2 against Buffalo, making the 3rd concussion under 2 years. And then he was placed in injury reserve, missed 3 to 7 weeks. That cleared to return in late October. He had some good moments, guys. He had some great moments. Okay, and I'm looking this at his career. Okay, when he was what he has done, because you got to see what he's accomplished. Is probably his performance highlight. Because you got his key status. I just told you what happened last year. I just told you the time that he missed the timeline that hurt the Dolphins, and the performance that he had. He had week 1 against the Jaguars. He was 23 for 37 for 338 yards. They came back with an 80-yard TD pass to Tyreek Hill. Remember that at the beginning of the season? Upon returning post-streak, 3 consecutive 300 yards. Because, I mean, he could throw the ball, but he had 3 consecutive 300 yards game. And that actually did something that Dan Marino, equal what Dan Marino did, which is amazing. December 22nd against the 49ers, remember he threw his 100 career TD pass, connecting with Hill with a 29-17 over the 49ers. But then after that, what happens? The man goes down. Can't play the last game of the seasons. We have Tyler Huntley. We struggle. Okay, so my thing is the physical and the mental of Tua Tagovailoa. Is it there for the 2025 season? is this is the year that the Dolphins says, listen, this is it, guys. We all get in the same ship or the same boat. If you don't want to be a part of this boat, you could jump the boat. Or, like I said in the Mother podcast, we're back into the rebuilding mode. I don't think the fans in Miami want to hear that. I don't think the fans in Miami wants to know about that. I think the fans in Miami are tired of hearing that. Listen, we could point fingers. We could, and because I have done it, we could blame Greer. We could blame McDaniel. We could blame the owner. I don't blame much the owner because he's the one that gives the paycheck. He's the one that pays the player. That's my theory. You tell me what you need. Here's the money. Go get them. The only thing is Miami has failed every time when they do that. So, but anyhow, I'm going to leave you with that. It's one of my segments. I'm going to try to change my schedule now to Monday, Wednesdays, and Friday. I will set my live when I can. I'm working on my new setup here on my studio. Things will be changed again. And listen, I want to thank those that have subscribed. I'm at 897 subscribers, almost at 900. 103 away from 1,000. Watch time is the struggle because that's the algorithm. I mean, this is where you have to come and look at the video and take time and watch it. Because, see, I have so much subscribers. I have so much that I go through my subscribers to watch their videos. And listen, fair is fair, man. Let's work together as a team. Let's grow together as a team. And let's love one another. And let's share everything. I mean, let's share everything we have because this is what a content creator does, is help each other. But anyhow, I want to thank all of you guys. Have a nice weekend. I've been covering baseball pretty soon, and hockey is over. Congratulations to the Panthers. So that's it. No more hockey. NBA continue. Series tied 3-3. Great win for Indiana. Going back to Oklahoma City. So let's see what happens. And then we don't have football until almost the end of July, or the second week of July, third week of July, when the mini camp starts. And then now it gets serious. And this is where maybe Ramsey could be traded. We could save that money. We could sign our players and fulfill what we need to help Tua Tagovailoa get to the next level. You know, there was a comparison, you guys heard it already, between Tua and Drew Brees in his first 5 years, and they have a similarity. Now, come on, let's be honest. We know Brees is better than Tua. Let's be honest. Let's not cover that up. But one thing about Tua, he is a winner, whether you like it or not. You might say, man, listen, you could call him he's terrible. He has more wins than a lot of these teams that have started the season with their quarterbacks. And that is amazing. I don't have the list with me because if I had it, you'd be impressed how many wins he has. And you shocked. Probably the one that's probably just past him is Joe Burrow, because he had a great season when they came back at the end of the year and they start winning 6-7 games in a row. So, but anyhow, I want to thank you guys for subscribing. Please hit the thumbs up. Please hit the like button. Also, please have a comment and listen. I'll get back to you guys. And listen, love you guys. You guys have a lovely weekend and see you guys soon. And once again, man, Sports Night with Jorge and Dolphin fans, fins up. Thank you.